It would be humiliating to lose to a candidate whose trustworthiness is doubted by 60% of registered voters. That's nearly two-thirds. Statistically, Clinton is trusted by just one of the John Mayer trio, which is insane because, by definition, two of the John Mayer trio, to some extent, trust John Mayer. Now, the other option is Trump resets, comes from behind, and wins. And I would argue that's even worse for him, because then he actually has to run the country, and that means living in government housing, conversing with fully clothed women, and travelling in a plane that doesn't even have his name on it. Just this week, he tried to seem more presidential by apologising and distributing disaster relief, and he looked miserable. And that's pretty much all that being president is. And that is why I'd actually like to address the rest of this segment directly to Donald Trump. And I know that you're watching, Donald, because you watch everything that's said about you. I'm pretty sure you sleep in a tanning bed made out of TVs playing cable news talking about you. That is an actual photo taken in an actual nightmare. It seems that you have two really bad options here. If you keep going, you're going to spend the next 11 weeks ramping up hatred in speeches, injecting poison into the American bloodstream that will take generations to remove, and denying the country the contest of ideas that a presidential campaign should actually be. And after that, you're either going to win or you're going to lose. And I think both those scenarios end pretty badly for you. Which is why, Mr. Trump, Donnie, Doniel, I would like to propose to you a third option, and that is drop out. Simply drop out and tell America this entire candidacy was a stunt, a satire designed to expose the flaws in the system. And the thing is, you could actually make a fairly decent case for that. Because although your campaign was the political equivalent of a bigoted clown's blazing funeral pyre, you have accidentally made upwards of 4 good points during this campaign. Last year, when your opponents criticised you for donating to Democrats, you said this.
Before 2 months ago, I was a businessman. I give to everybody. When they call, I give. And you know what? When I need something from them, 2 years later, 3 years later, I call them. They are there for me. And that's a broken system. So what?
You're right. Any system that requires phone calls to and from you is completely shattered. You are like the chaplain at Disney jail. If I'm talking to you at all, something has gone horribly wrong. But it is powerful hearing a candidate expose our campaign finance system so completely, just as it was powerful to watch you expose the flaws of the media while still exploiting them.
They say that I've had $2 billion worth of free airtime.
The free airtime comes in some part because of the controversies that you've generated.
Perhaps.
Is that why you did it?
Well, I guess it might be a little bit.
I can't even blame you for that. You're essentially saying you seem to like dumpster fires. I'm basically a pile of oily trash and a match. Let's fucking dance. And that might actually be your wisest insight since you encouraged your Twitter followers to love thine enemy. I mean, you didn't use those words exactly, of course. What you said was, every time I speak of the haters and losers, I do so with great love and affection. They cannot help the fact that they were born fucked up. But that sentiment was, in its own way, Christ-like. And you could even argue you've effectively exposed the lengths to which politicians will go to appease their party's base. Because think about it. Top Republicans refused to withdraw their support for you even after you feuded with the Gold Star parents, seemingly insinuated that gun activists could assassinate Hillary Clinton, and encouraged Russia to hack your opponent's emails. All these politicians would have stuck by you if you slapped the 6-year-old orphan of a dead veteran with a giant blunt while yelling "legalize it" and eating a bald eagle burrito. But perhaps most powerfully of all, Mr. Trump, Donathan, you didn't just expose the flaws in our political system. You exposed the flaws in us. Just think about how triumphant it would feel to say on national television, I openly ran on a platform of impossibly ignorant proposals steeped in racial bigotry, and nobody stopped me. In fact, you embraced me for it. What the fuck was that about? That would be one of the most powerful political speeches of all time.